He's so suave.
Beetlejuice is indeed so suave, and after 36 years of waiting, he's finally returned to movie theaters with director Tim Burton back behind the camera and Michael Keaton back behind the makeup. But truthfully, the character's never really gone away, becoming a pop culture mainstay through the years, complete with an animated series, Broadway musical, Universal Studios theme park appearances, and a ton of Hot Topic ready merch. He's the ghost with the most, and he's usually up to no good, but should we describe Beetlejuice as a villain?
That is why I won't do 2 shows a night anymore, babe. I won't do.
With Beetlejuice Beetlejuice upon us, we asked Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Jenna Ortega, and more of the cast if they described the title character as being a true villain. And, as it turns out, they had some differing opinions.
Kind of, I guess. Yeah, I guess he functions as a villain.
No.
I actually think he's a really sweet guy.
Hey, these aren't my rules. Come to think of it, I don't have any rules.
Really sweet guy or not, the self-proclaimed bio-exorcist is not the type of guy many would call a hero. Yet, it can still be a bit surprising to see, for instance, Beetlejuice included in a line of jerseys alongside notably vicious horror icons like Jason, Chucky, and Michael Myers.
Yes, I would describe him as a villain, but he's one of those villains that you love. I mean, he's certainly not the Joker or anything like that.
I'm needed upstairs. Bob, hold down the fort.
But then he'll kind of come through for you, if you pay him enough or something. He has no scruples.
I think he's just a narcissist, and he's sort of just the embodiment of ego, and he doesn't follow the normal course for a villain. And you don't need him to be redeemed. He's sort of like a firework, He just explodes, and you love watching the explosion,
Maybe selfish. You might be a little selfish,
Yeah,
self-serving, but aren't we
something
all?
nice about like a confident,
Yeah.
Person like that.
Oh,
Takes
yeah.
control of the room.
Ridiculous self-confidence. Unearned. But somehow charming and sexy.
Feel free to express yourselves. Don't be afraid.
Catherine O'Hara isn't the only one who thinks Beetlejuice is charming and sexy. Winona Ryder, who's Lydia Dietz, remains the object of Beetlejuice's affection in the sequel, actually roots for a genuine love connection between the two, even though she realizes the origins of their relationship back in 1988 makes that a little problematic.
I always secretly wanted them to end up together. I actually love their relationship. They're sort of, look, I get it. In the first one, I was 15, and
So what is it about Lydia that has Beetlejuice so hung up on her?
Oh, I don't want to think about it. I think it could enter the world of creepy. So I don't want to, I don't know. The story works, let's just keep moving along.
The world of Beetlejuice is one that blends horror and comedy, but one in which Tim Burton's offbeat, purposely outlandish and cartoonish visuals mostly keep things from feeling too horrific, despite the fact that we are seeing people pull their own faces off, sliced into, or burnt to a crisp. The sequel pushes things into even darker areas at times, while Burton maintains that specific Beetlejuice tone. So, given plenty of kids have long loved the character, are the Beetlejuice movies good gateway or entry-level horror for young horror fans in the making?
I hope not. Some of it, I think, it's too much for certain ages, I think. But don't go by me, because some little kids see it at 5 or 6 and they love it, just love it, roll with it, no big deal. I'm always shocked at that.
Family, they can go together because different generations are represented. And even this one is Beetlejuice. Maybe it goes farther with visual, and maybe it's a bit more scary. But at the same time, the film is unpredictable, it's funny, it's full of emotion.
They're scary for maybe a little kid, but they're not scary to the point. It's not like, I watched The Exorcist when I was 9, and that was not a good call.
I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it.
I think they could be the gateway. I think they could, especially this one, because it's definitely grosser.
Yeah. I think you're going to scare parents with that, though. Now they won't want to take their kids.
Kids will love it, though. It'll make
Yeah,
them feel,
they will.
They'll feel, mature.
It's dark, but both movies have these dark moments, but then you're laughing right after, which happens in a lot
the
of
whole
horror
concept,
movies, but this is consistently like this throughout.
The whole concept is death. Like the original one.
And what's wrong with that?
The lead characters they die within the first 5 minutes.
And we are all going to.
Yeah,
God bless us.
very true.
So let's be honest.
handbook for the recently diseased.
Deceased.
If you asked people to pick their favorite moment from Beetlejuice, many would name the iconic scene where a dinner party at the Dietz's takes a turn for the wild and hilarious when everyone is possessed by the spirits of Adam and Barbara Maitland, and forced to lip sync and dance to Harry Belafonte's rendition of Deo, the Banana Boat song. Beetlejuice Beetlejuice offers a big follow-up to this sequence with a decidedly different song, but there's another key difference this time. Beetlejuice is actually involved in it. Since the beloved character actually wasn't part of the Deo scene at all, something Keaton was excited to finally make up for.
I was so happy that I got to be part of it, because the first time I saw that scene, I thought, in fact, if somebody said, pick a scene that kind of says everything about the whole world that Tim created, and I would say that one. That just knocked everybody out, knocked me totally out. I'm not in it. I didn't know they shot it. And when I saw it the first time, I thought, this is just truly brilliant. So yeah, when I got to participate, I was real excited.
That was such a magical time the time in that church, because it was just so strange and thrilling and hilarious, and it was just all the things that you want to feel. You just wanted to shoot it forever.
We'll avoid naming the 1968 song choice for those who want to wait to discover it in the movie, but it was one that surprised the cast, and in some cases had to overcome their own personal tastes.
I think that's one of those songs, you'd have to ask Tim, but I think it was one of those songs that just means something to him. I don't know, me and Jenna were laughing about it because we find it such a terrible song. Just like the lyrics are so like over the top, but it's somehow like Tim makes these things work.
Once more, as with Deo, Delia Dietz is forced to dance to a song in this new sequence, this time alongside Lydia's daughter Astrid, and Catherine O'Hara and Jenna Ortega ended up coming up with their own moves.
We co-created the choreography, didn't we?
Yeah, it was.
Jenna and I worked out some beautiful moves together, I think.
It was just a huddle backstage when we had like
David
15
Byrne
minutes.
kinda.
Yeah. No, it was the random lyrical dance,
That's great.
just
Actually,
stupid.
Yes, stupid.
Just mirroring each
Yeah,
other.
synchronized. It was so fun.
Are you the guys hiding out in the attic?
Ryder has incredibly positive memories of making the original Beetlejuice at a young age, noting that made coming back for the sequel decades later something truly special.
Everything had to align perfectly, and I think in a weird way, like we were waiting for Jenna to be born and grow up and be, because she's such an essential, brilliant piece of this. But my love for Beetlejuice, and I know it's a bit because I absolutely love Michael so much, and he really spoiled me. I really had such an incredible experience working with him on the first one, and was like, oh wow, like this is what actors are, and then, he was so kind and so inclusive. Everyone was so inclusive, which is unusual for like a 15-year-old to come back. It was literally like what you daydream about, like, what if I could have anything in the world, you know what I mean? And that it actually happened. I'm still kind of pinch myself. It was actually quite emotional.
For even more on Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, be sure to like and subscribe to IGN.
Where's Beetlejuice?
Where's Beetlejuice?